real quick though, well, do you believe any conspiracy theories?
Oh yeah, I do have one conspiracy. I think that an octopus is an alien.
Okay.
And the bottom of the sea floor is actually the top of the earth.
He's leaving. He's gonna go.
Hey!
I told you to stop telling people that.
Black holes are often described as cosmic monsters, places where everything is destroyed, but that description misses what makes them truly fascinating. A black hole isn't really an object in the usual sense. It's a region of space where gravity becomes so intense that space and time themselves are bent beyond anything we experience in everyday life. When a massive star collapses, it doesn't just leave behind something heavy. It reshapes the geometry of the universe around it. Near a black hole, time slows down relative to the rest of the universe, and space curves so dramatically that the future points inward. What's remarkable is that black holes are not just theoretical ideas. We see their effects on stars orbiting invisible centers of galaxies. We detect their collisions through ripples in space-time called gravitational waves, and we can even image their shadows against glowing disks of matter.
I'm not saying, I'm just showing. Kobe Bryant, Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns. They kind of look alike, right? They kind of look really alike. And there's more to it than that. There are some similarities that might just shock you if you continue to watch. And like I said, I'm not saying, I'm just showing. Now, not only do they look similar and have very similar mannerisms, but Myles Garrett just also happens to be really good at basketball. Really good. And move a heck of a lot like a certain somebody else. Do you see it? Because I sure see it. And not just on the way to the hoop, but the way they finish as well. That's a charity game. That's an NBA game. And I'm not sure what this is about, but Myles Garrett dribbling a basketball in an NFL game. And some of you might be saying, but they're built so differently. Kobe's tall and skinny, and Myles is tall and strong. Yeah, because no one has ever gone from zero.
These world fairs were cover-ups. They were more than just exhibitions of innovation and culture. These grand events served a hidden purpose that few are aware of today. From the late 1800s to the early 1900s, these fairs showcased stunning architectural wonders, vast palaces, intricate pavilions, and towering monuments, one of these being the Eiffel Tower. But here is where it gets strange. Many of these structures were not temporary as they were made out to be. They were remnants of an advanced civilization that predated the fairs. The fairs acted as cover-ups, a means to present these ancient wonders as creations of the modern world. But after the fairs ended, they were demolished, their true origins buried under the rubble. Why destroy such incredible feats of architecture? Because they did not fit in the narrative of our history. The Chicago World's Fair of 1893. Officially known as the World's Columbian Exposition, it was said to have been constructed in just 2 years. But eyewitness accounts and historical documents suggest that many of the buildings were already there, built by a civilization with technology and knowledge far beyond what was acknowledged at the time. These fairs were carefully curated to present a vision of progress and modernity, while erasing the memory of our true past. The narratives created during these events have shaped our understanding of history ever since.
They found a building buried in the jungle, but it's 20,000 years too advanced. Deep in the Guatemalan rainforest, explorers found something insane. A stone structure with geometric precision, like laser-cut concrete. Inside? Metal gears, hinges, blueprints dated at over 30,000 years old, before the wheel, before writing, even before most human civilizations existed. But here's the kicker. One of the stone pillars shows a carved diagram of the solar system with Pluto. How? Who? Why? Some believe it's the remnants of a lost super-civilization. Others say it's proof of off-world engineers. The site now restricted. Photos deleted, access denied. Was it ancient man or ancient gods? Comment unlocked if you want the coordinates, and follow before this disappears again.
We may have lost the Library of Alexandria, but there is still an ancient library in Tibet with 84,000 manuscripts, 5% of which are translated. It's called the Sakya Monastery, and the Dalai Lama hid here during the Cultural Revolution in China. They hid these manuscripts in the walls, and most of them are talking about life force, consciousness, whatever you want to call the thing that gives form to us. So I looked into a couple of these, and it appears that they may be talking about plasma. Plasma makes up 99% of the observable universe. Plasma is basically electrical discharge. When it interacts with magnetic objects like these ball bearings or ferrofluid, it creates the same architecture we see pretty much everywhere. The terminology they use is the rainbow light body, and it's similar to the Ka in ancient Egypt. Both describe it like the Mayans as a tool to navigate an unseen world. The Vedas in the Hindu tradition have a very detailed map of this, kind of like what we're doing with DMT. Could they be the instruction manual for what they were doing? We do know a few things, though. We know that everything is energy, and that energy takes shape in everything that we see. Understanding these vibrations is a human concept that we developed over time through consciousness. We're probably at a grade school level to them, but hey. I was genuinely surprised how many people were actually interested in this. Imagine if we put an AI on the translating part.
You've been lied to about human history. Tell me, how could people using horses and wooden carts build massive, flawless stone structures like these? Perfect symmetry, sky-high domes, intricate carvings, and all with hammers and handsaws? That makes zero sense. Look closer. Our timeline doesn't add up. What if the history we're taught was rewritten to hide something? Here's where it gets even crazier. What if the dates on these buildings are wrong? What if that one in 1890 wasn't a one at all? We could be off by 1,000 years. So who actually built them? Ever heard of Tartaria? A vast empire once spanning Europe and Asia, mysteriously erased from textbooks. But you can't erase everything. Old maps still show Tartaria, and their technology was said to rival or surpass ours. Some believe they built the Great Wall of China and the breathtaking architecture we now claim as 19th century. Maybe Tartaria isn't just a myth. Maybe it's the missing civilization that proves our history isn't history at all.
So I'm noticing this. Lights in the horizon. I'm not sure what this is. It has different colors. It has purple, green, red, orange, and pink sometimes. Look at that, it's all blue now. Wow. I really don't know what I'm looking at. And there is a forest there, so it's right above the forest. It is gorgeous, whatever this is. They're very beautiful colors. All red now, look at that. All of them are like reddish, and then there is a blue light. Wow, stunning. Look at that. I definitely feel like I'm looking at some kind of a UFO or UAP. But I'm not 100% sure. But these colors are stunning. There's a purple too, like that's what, like pink, purple. I wonder if it will make any moves. If it makes a move, it will be good to see. Right there. Oh, they are. Look at that. The helicopter's right above, flying over. People. They're just trying to see what's going on. Look at how it goes from green aura to blue aura and red aura. Really fascinating. What is this? Wow, they see something on top flashing through? I don't know if I'm seeing. Yeah, look at the lights above. Oh my god. There are things above flying. Wait, let's take a look again. Let's see if it will fly again. Let's see. Yeah. There is one. Wait. Let's see if they will be more visible. Oh my goodness. There. Do you guys see that light? What is that light? What am I? There's something flying above in the sky as well, like white light. Let's see if it will fly again. Oh my gosh, I think this is a real UFO with things flying above.
Do you remember this scene from Dumb and Dumber?
Huh. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this. I was thinking the same thing. That John Denver's full of shit, man.
At the time of that movie, I didn't even know what that meant because I had no idea who John Denver was. And then I figured out it was about his song Rocky Mountain High. And then fast forward another 30 years and I figured out that they like to tell us the truth in movies. And well, I think there's a little bit more to John Denver being full of shit, man, than what they're just saying about the Rockies. Let's look. John Denver was known for his love of nature and animals. You know who else loved nature and animals? This guy. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Do you remember him? You know, this guy. Well, John Denver supposedly died in 1997. Right around the time Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, the late 90s, got famous. And well, I don't even think I really have to say much to tell you they resemble each other an awful lot, don't they? And boy, would you imagine that? Their faces just happen to be extremely symmetrical. Let's say you just performed a little eye surgery and made your eyes a little bigger.
You know, there's a conspiracy theory that I'm not me.
There is a...
Cool. Honestly, it's not that bad. It could be worse, right? Like, I feel like I got a good one.
But is it... Okay.
I don't think it's, like, negative or anything, like, creepy. So it's like...
It's Avril, this conspiracy theory about you is a little creepy. Come on.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be worse.
It could? Yeah. It
Yeah.
could. No, you could be getting, like,
I mean,
online books.
obviously, I am me. It's so dumb.
To people that don't understand, just to give people context, there's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is no longer with us. And there is a woman named Melissa who took over. And I can't even say it seriously.
This is by far the craziest and wildest video I have been sent regarding these UFO drones in our skies. This was actually captured the night of December 14th, 2024 in Des Moines, Iowa. And the witness literally captures dozens of these UFO drones in the sky. It's almost like two different factions fighting each other in our skies. Now, I want to mention something that actually has to deal with ancient history, with old myths coming out of India. There's a book in which people drew basically fighting in the heavens between the gods. Are we seeing that again? Take a look at this. And if you have your own footage or if you witness this in Iowa, please post it. Let us know.
It is going down in Dimona. Look at this shit. Look at this. These is not even. Oh my God, they done shot like some smart bombs or something. Look at this shit. They drone bombs or something. Look at this. What? Oh my God, what they done shot over here? Look at this. I'm filming this shit. It is crunk. It is crunk out here. What? What they done shot down? Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, look, look. Every direction they coming. All over. What is these?
If I go missing in the next few hours, know that it's because I'm sharing this picture with you and with the world. I took this picture yesterday. I was up in the mountains and I saw a craft, this orb, flying through the sky, no propulsion, going so fast, and jets were chasing it, and it crashed into the ground, and it flew up dirt all around, and it made this crater, and this is it right there. It was copperage of color. It did change colors. It changed silver, and then after a while, it changed to a red, it was pretty sweet, the red color. I actually really like that color. But I started taking this picture, and then all of a sudden, all these Suburbans and Escalades and one H2 Hummer showed up, and I hid behind a rock, and they looked like governmenters, and they were checking it out, and they didn't see me. But then I sent this picture to a bunch of friends, and it disappeared out of our text threads. We are not alone. This was something that I don't know any government that could build an object like this, but I'm sharing this out, and if I go missing, please come to my house and take care of my creature critter pets before they starve to death. If I go missing in the next few hours, know that it's because I'm sharing this picture with you and with the world. I took this picture yesterday. I was up in the mountains and I saw a craft, this orb, flying through the sky, no propulsion, going so fast, and jets were chasing it, and it crashed into the ground, and it flew up dirt all around, and it made this crater, and this is it right there. It was copperage of color. It did change colors. It changed silver, and then after a while, it changed to a red, it was pretty sweet, the red color. I actually really like that color. But I started taking this picture, and then all of a sudden, all these Suburbans and Escalades and one H2 Hummer showed up. And I hid behind a rock, and they looked like governmenters. And they were checking it out, and they didn't see me. But then I sent this picture to a bunch of friends, and it disappeared out of our text threads. We are not alone. This was something that I don't know any government that could build an object like this, but I'm sharing this out, and if I go missing, please...
बोलिए के पास Hai người vậy?
Vedete da 2 anni il tuo figlio, eh?
Yo. No, this is the good.
Sun and Sky Part 2. Today is the 21st of January 2026, Jensen Beach Causeway. You're looking at the other side. So this is Part 2.
All our times have come. Here, but now they're gone. Seasons go clear the reaper. Not the moon, not the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby. Fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper. We'll be able to fly. Don't fear the reaper. Baby, I'm your man.
Beautiful. Thanks, birds.
The aircraft that passed overhead this time appeared to be closer to an equilateral triangle shape with a flatter trailing edge.
That Christina's eyes were going to be such a big debate because everybody is telling me her eyes have always been blue. But here's the thing. I remember her having dark eyes. I'm like, hold on. Is this a Mandela effect? Is this why everyone is saying her eyes? Like, okay, there are people who have been like, no, her eyes were brown. I specifically remember being younger, watching stuff about Christina Aguilera, knowing that her eyes were brown. Like, I remember her eyes being brown. And then I was like, I wonder why she always has to wear blue contacts. Like, why doesn't she ever just have her natural brown eyes? She's always wearing contacts. Okay, no, apparently. Does anybody? Because there are people that have hit me up in my DMs and been like, no, I remember her having brown eyes. Is this a Mandela effect? Because I know the majority of people are going to say that she had blue eyes. Obviously, because her entire fucking career, she's been having blue eyes. But I know that they were contacts. I know that they were contacts. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you. But here's the thing. If you look her up now, it's like impossible to find any child photos of her with brown eyes. They pretty much just come up looking blue. But they're not crystal blue like this. Like, you guys just saw it. Those are not the same eyes. Those aren't the same eyes.
250 million year old microchips older than dinosaurs found in fossils? Some people seem to think so. Absolutely impossible. Unless we had a mass extinction of a previous intelligent civilization, there's no way these could be real. Well, the Earth actually has had mass extinctions before. At least 5 of them, and these have all pretty much been confirmed by studying the fossil records in Earth's layers. Mass extinction meaning that at least 50% of all life on Earth dies. We've had 5 of those, and the 6th one is absolutely guaranteed. They're not instant either, but happen over the course of hundreds of thousands of years, so we might very well be in the middle of one right now. Let's have a look at the past 5 global mass extinctions, or GMEs, and see if we could find out why they happened in the first place and if these computer chips are even possible. Estimated to have formed about 4.5 billion years ago, Earth was an inhospitable land of fire and gas for the first 4 billion years or so. Then around 450 million years ago, in the Ordovician period, Earth had formed some basic sea life organisms and coastal plants when it experienced the first one, the Ordovician extinction, where it got really cold, glaciers formed, sea levels dropped and froze over, causing about 60% of all life on Earth to die out. 100 million years later, about 360 million years ago, we got the next, the Devonian extinction, which were actually more of a series of extinctions over millions of years. At this point, along with sea life and more land plants, there are some basic insects and early amphibians emerging, about 75% of which were wiped out once again ddue to global cooling, which may have actually been caused by plants absorbing too much CO2 in the atmosphere. Then another 100 million years later, or 250 million years ago, it's the Permian extinction, around the same age as our supposed microchip fossil. This was the first time that insects died out, likely caused by a series of volcanic eruptions in the supercontinent Pangea Pangea that spanned the planet at the time. Or maybe even an asteroid impact that caused the Earth to heat up, who knows. This was the first big one. Around 96% of all life went extinct, which included many proto-mammal species like synapsids. A short 50 million years later, around 200 million years ago, the fourth Triassic-Jurassic extinction wiped out 76% of land mammals, including saurischians and archosaurs, which were essentially beta versions of dinosaurs. This is around the time that Pangea started breaking apart, causing bare volcanic activity, more CO2, and more global warming, which life doesn't fare well under sudden changes in temperature, as you can tell. So we had global cooling, warming. Any guesses what's next? About 135 million years later, 65 million years ago, we had our fifth and most recent Cretaceous extinction. This is the one that finally offed the dinosaurs, which we think was caused by a massive asteroid impact in the Yucatan Peninsula, once again wiping out 76% of life on Earth, and in that remaining 24% were creatures like turtles, alligators, and these rat things known as Jeremiah. And according to the theory of evolution, which is just a theory after all, these are what eventually turned into humans. And 65 million years later, here we are today, where 99% of all species that have ever existed on Earth are now extinct. And you, your dog, the grass on your lawn, and even the mushroom on your pizza are in that lucky 1%. Also telling us climate change isn't new and actually has been happening for the past 500 million years. During which time, what if humans or some alternate form of intelligent life existed at some point only to be wiped out by a GME? After all, it did only take the Jeremiah rats a little under 65 million years to evolve into humans, and the length of time between these other GMEs are much longer than that. If a rat can evolve into a human in 65 million years, then I'm sure more can happen in the 100 million year gaps between the other GMEs. Now, I already hear the Google debunkers crying, if humans did exist in any of these periods, then there'd be fossil records, which there aren't. Listen, humans make up merely 0.01% of life on Earth, and it likely would have been the same during any other period. On top of that, fossilization is mega rare. An organism's remains need to get extremely lucky in order for it to get preserved and turned into a fossil. Only about 0.1% of living organisms actually do end up getting fossilized. That's 0.1% of the 0.01% human population of life, and we see that the chances of a human getting fossilized are astronomical. That is, if we even find it. The further back in time we look, the less likely that a fossil is to survive for us to uncover today. On top of that, even if we were to
They say dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago, but deep in the jungles of Cambodia, carved into ancient stone, there's a creature that looks exactly like a Stegosaurus. The carving is over 800 years old. No fossils were ever found here. So how did the Khmer people carve something they were never supposed to see? It's not the only mystery, because this carving is found at a temple called Tapram, a place most people think is just a crumbling ruin, swallowed by trees. But they are very wrong. What lies beneath these roots is far more mysterious. This wasn't just a temple. It was once a sacred university, a living, breathing machine of healing, learning, spiritual awakening, supported by 80,000 people. Close your eyes. Forget the modern world. You are now in the 12th century, at the height of the Khmer Empire. The jungle hums around you. Golden towers shimmer above the treetops. And Tapram, then called Masonry of the King, stands alive with sacred energy. Inside these stone walls are more than monks. There are doctors, dancers, scribes, and teachers. Over 12,000 people lived inside the temple. Another 80,000 villagers kept it alive. This was a school unlike anything on earth. You pass apsaras, divine dancers, moving in sacred patterns. Their steps are not just art. They're equations in motion, rituals to balance the forces of the universe. You pass libraries filled with palm leaf scrolls, teaching medicine, astrology, energy, healing, and cosmic law. A sacred curriculum for those chosen to awake. The king who built this, Jayavarman, had one goal: to heal his empire through wisdom. He didn't just build temples. He built healing centers, places of spiritual technology. And Tapram was his crown jewel. Some say these walls could cure illnesses through vibration alone, that rooms were tuned to resonate frequencies, that dancers could shift energy fields, that hidden chambers beneath the roots still hold sacred relics, or perhaps ancient knowledge left behind. And what about the dinosaur? Was it a memory, a myth, or a clue that these people knew far more than we've ever been told? Today, the jungle has taken most of it back. Roots burst through walls. Trees cling to towers like veins. The soul of the place still whispers. If you stand quietly at dawn, you might still hear the chants, see the flicker of torchlight, and feel the presence of a forgotten university where learning was sacred, and the goal was not to know, but to awaken. This isn't just a ruin, it's a portal to a world we've forgotten, and I'm here to help you remember. Follow Mr. Mountain Beast because the ancient world is calling, and it's louder than ever. Thank you guys if you made it this far. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this, so follow, and you'll see a lot more.
An unidentified Dorito-shaped, fast-flying aircraft was seen flying over the Area 51 base in the Nevada desert by a YouTuber called Uncanny Expeditions, mate. Check this out. Over the Nevada desert, this strange triangular Dorito-shaped formation was seen flying across the sky, harbouring a singular contrail and a perfect equilateral triangle from what we can see. Here's a B-2 Spirit Bomber for reference. You can see the different proportions on the back end of the aircraft with two contrails. And here's our little Dorito buddy, mate. As you can see, almost a perfect equilateral triangle with one contrail, which is very strange. And there is a aircraft that was cancelled, which was called a A-12 Avenger 2 by the Navy, but it was never supposedly in full production and ever flew. Now in 2014, an amateur photographer took a photo of this strange craft, which is again an equilateral triangle, and it's an unconfirmed aircraft. Now this was spotted flying over Kansas, but you can see here, look at the perfect shape, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Roswell depiction of the craft that crashed a little bit, you know, maybe some inspiration there. Now this was captured over Texas, and it's again the same similar shaped object, this triangular formation, which seems pretty equilateral once again. Could it be the same thing? Singular looking contrail? Maybe. Either way, an undisclosed unknown aircraft possibly being sighted. What do you think?
Your brain sees modern rebar. Geology sees a nightmare. Australia. Deep inside a layer of primordial quartzite. Two iron rods. Perfectly parallel. Spaced exactly 3 inches apart. It looks like reinforced concrete. But this rock solidified before anything on Earth even had legs. Who was building reinforced structures in a silent world? History's broken. Welcome to Chrono Archives.
So after passing through the other side of the ice wall by using this map, this one right here, and going through the ice wall passage, William Morris and his crew were approached by this advanced ship telling them to come aboard. Now keep in mind they were from the 1700s, so when they saw this flag, they said it was a blue flag with a white circle symbol, which reminds me of another symbol that depicts a flat earth map. The crew says they're from the Ancestral Republic, which is outside of the ice wall, and tells them they're in the middle of a war with the custodians. But they give them a map to tell them where to get to the Ancestral Republic outside of the ice wall, which, as you see here, south of South America through the passageway, there's the Ancestral Republic outside of Antarctica. So they follow the map and find this advanced city, and they go and find the president, and the president says they haven't seen people from inside of the ice wall in a very long time. But they tell him to go to the land of the giants, which is right north of there, which is right up here. So they head to the land of the giants and come into contact with them and talk to this large woman who takes them to the library and shows them all of the books that talks about all of the 178 worlds outside of the ice walls. And since they're so advanced, they're able to document all of this, and the history has been reset so many times. And since the environment and foods are non-toxic, William and his crew stay here for hundreds of years and end up coming back our day into our known lands, back through the ice wall, and give us this information.
Have you heard about the dead internet theories?
I don't know nothing about it.
Basically, the internet theory is that the internet died back in 2016, 2017. Since then, everything that we see online is basically AI-generated content and bots. It was created to basically gaslight the entire world. I believe this shit only because of Destiny. He's basically like a YouTuber / debater, streamer. He comes across this guy who claims to be some type of politician. The guy's name is Dr. Aegon Cholokian.
Apparently he has really strong credentials. He's got a very unique name, but I can't actually find good information about who it is.
And this guy has a YouTube channel where he has speeches. They're like 3-hour-long videos, just straight talking without having a water break, taking any type of break.
I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on the intelligence component of national security.
Wait, why does he have 2 clip-on mics? One for backup, maybe?
My name is Aegon Cholokian. I am a part.
This is 10 months ago. Wait, so is he real?
And then in his chat, this random user sends a link saying, I don't think this guy is fake. I found this document about him and it seems legit. It's like a bot.
Recognized.
Or somebody sent out a bot to basically
convince him to not believe that.
Exactly.
So we have a federal court case, and it's the guy. It's all the wrong font for court documents. Yeah, I noticed that the state was misspelled up here. The real photo. Wait, are these hands real? The women's faces are at the exact same angle. People are saying it's like the exact same face. Is it though?
It's the exact same thing.
No. Hold on. Oh! No. Wait. It is fake. This is a fake picture.
Here is a 1260 map. That's right, 1260. And the crazier part about it, it's only a 4-inch map. And it's obviously, as you can see, it's a holy map. And it is just neat. Let's dive into this one. And we'll go ahead and start with the description here so you can see exactly what we're looking at from the book. This Pulsar map from 1260. The map is only 4 inches wide. Jesus Christ sits at the top of the world, and Jerusalem is at the very center of the map. East is at the top of the map, and the Red Sea is clearly identifiable. It was invariably colored red in medieval world maps. Interesting. And it really is really colored red there. Check it out. You can see how it's all red there. But the drawings and everything on here are really super cool as well. So let's just start to the top. We have an angel here holding something over towards Jesus. Jesus is holding this ball. All right, what the heck does that mean? I've never seen it. I've seen a lot of different things. What does that mean? Throw in the comments if you know what that means, please. And then you got the other angel here again throwing something else. I'm assuming these things right here are like for the incense, and that's what they're throwing there. Then you have all of the different people blowing around. And then at the bottom, check that out. Is that not cool? Look at the dragon there. And on this side, we have another dragon. And then look at all the places. So all of these little markings are buildings and places. That's how they marked them. Pretty built out, 1260, huh? Here's Jerusalem right there in the center, as you can see. We have the Red Sea there. And we have something going on with all the different type of people. Interesting. Look at that. So when they're showing these type of people, can't you see where they have the ones where there's no head, their face is on the chest? Then you have a man-eater here. Some weird looking dude there. That is so interesting. That is so wild. Let me know what you think about that. I don't see any dog-headed people though, but I do see those. Maybe that's just their depiction. I can't see it right. Interesting. Oh, I bet you that's what that is on the very end there, right there. Yep. Wow. Depicting all the different people of the lands. So if these are just myths, then why are they putting it on a religious map? That's what I always found interesting. I always found that very interesting. I think this is Egypt right there. And then what the heck is this up top up here with two big towers there? Comment, let me know if you know what that is. I have no idea. We do have the, you know, they said this is east. Yeah, I'm assuming Adam and Eve here, right? Looks like a tree in the middle maybe. And then you have the four rivers coming out, right? Going down. And actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivers coming out of there, not 4. Interesting. That almost looks like that could be the Great Wall of China right there. Just the way it's designed and built. Interesting too. Anything else? That's about all I found on here other than, wow, it's pretty built out and all the areas are named pretty well. And you see the Red Sea, Jerusalem, and all these crazy looking people here. Just found it really, really interesting. I'm gonna check that out in the very last one. Looks like a big face right there, like maybe a giant. I don't know. But anyways, I thought this was really interesting. One of the oldest maps I've found to date. Please comment with your thoughts. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time.